Simon Rosenberg and Mark Thiessen back with me now. Simon, go ahead.
I think the point here is that the idea that when there's competing intelligence, when the actual lead guy on the ground is assassinated, that the idea that Susan Rice lied, I mean, we don't really know what happened. You guys are basing everything you're talking about today based on one report by a right-wing ideologue, and somehow that's more true than more true, more true,
Let me correct you on that, sir. No, Simon, let's play fair with one another, because Brett Baier confirmed this with 2 intelligence sources himself today and broke the news on Fox News Channel. This is not just a Daily Beast, and that's, by the way, that's not a right-leaning publication, but the guy. Okay, so
but he is.
But Brett Baier confirmed this, who covered the Pentagon for years.
Megan, it is unbelievable that in the fog of war, given everything that's going on, the assertion is that she lied. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, the lead guy who was there was killed. It's a very volatile situation. We didn't have a lot of people in Benghazi. That's been obviously maintained by now. And so the idea that somehow the administration purposefully lied to the American people, it's ridiculous. We now know what's happened. They've said that this was a terrorist attack. They understand what's gone on. They have the FBI on the ground. 2 of the militias have been disbanded already. There's tremendous progress being made. Give them time out and do what's right. I think that's the respectful thing to do here.
Mark, you know, the administration was very quick to come out and say that Mitt Romney spoke too soon on this, and actually the campaign spokesperson for Obama came out and said he shoots first and aims later, which was picking up on his boss's remarks. When it comes to this issue of what happened in Libya, is it not a fair question to ask whether that is what this administration did in sending Susan Rice out there to tell us all that this was about a video when they had other information? I mean, Kirsten Powers was on our show yesterday saying this was either gross incompetence or this was a deliberate attempt to mislead.
She's absolutely right. Look, we now know that within 24 hours they knew that it was a terrorist attack, that Al-Qaeda was involved, and 5 days later Susan Rice went on national television on 5 Sunday shows and said that it had to do with a protest on the ground about a video, which we knew there was 1, no protest, and 2, that it was a terrorist attack. So I mean, I don't know any other conclusion you can draw other that either she is incompetent or she purposely misled. But listen, the reason that Simon and the Obama administration are so defensive on your show today right now is because for months they've been gloating about how Barack Obama kept us safe and there have been no terrorist attacks on his watch. Well, guess what? There was just a terrorist attack on his watch. We got hit at a U.S. embassy, the first American ambassador killed since 1979, on his watch on the anniversary of September 11, 2001. And this stuff about how George Bush led 9/11 happened, but Barack Obama kept us safe and there have been no catastrophic attacks on his watch. You know, the only reason we haven't had another 9/11 on his watch is because the bomb on that plane malfunctioned over Detroit. That wasn't a foiled terrorist attack. It was a failed terrorist attack.
Come on, Mark.
The bomb malfunctioned. They got through our defenses. And the fact is that, as Steve Hayes has been reporting today in the Weekly Standard, they lied about that one too. 3 days after that attack, they said it was a lone man, when we now know it was an attack by Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. They said after the Times Square bombing that it was a lone gunman, there was a lone man acting alone. We know now it was a Taliban attack. They said after the Fort Hood shooting that it was workplace violence. We now know that that man was in contact with the American Al-Qaeda cleric who was running Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula.
Okay.
So these people have a record of downplaying and dismissing terrorist attacks that have when they have gotten through our defenses repeatedly on their watch.
Simon, go ahead.
All I'll say is that if you look at where we are today from when the president came into office almost 4 years ago, we've seen more movement towards democracy and freedom in the Middle East during his watch than we saw in 5,000 years of Arab and Middle Eastern history. We just today signed a massive free trade agreement with the Gulf nations to bring more trade, more commerce, more investment to the region to hopefully help stabilize the region over time. We know that Al-Qaeda is severely weakened. It's not gone. Mark, you and I agree on this, right? There's still threats there, severely weakened. Bin Laden is no longer there. And we've also seen, we are seeing significant movement in the region towards working in a more cooperative way with the United States to isolate and contain Iran. The Iranian threat is real. It's something we've got to take seriously.
But you're off point
there's an
now.
unprecedented level of cooperation right now to contain Iran.
You're off
I'm
point
not off point. The point is that the efforts in the Middle East have been successful. The efforts in the Middle East of this administration have been successful.
But we're trying to get to the bottom of why we were given bad
I've already
information.
answered that, Megan. I've already answered that in this Q&A.
You just said she wasn't lying. That's what you said. She wasn't lying.
Yeah, she wasn't lying.
Why? Susan Rice didn't go out there on her own. She didn't think to herself, I want to go out and tell the American people that this was a spontaneous act that was a result from protests. Ambassador Bolton told us that the other day. When you are the UN ambassador, you do what the boss tells you. So somebody told her to do that. And the question is, did that person know about these intelligence reports that officially were declaring this act and not the result of a spontaneous protest?
Go ahead, Mark.
You could absolutely, Jay Carney, maybe give him a pass. He's not in the intelligence loop. But Susan Rice, the ambassador, they chose this person to be the spokesman on national security. You think she wasn't briefed about the true intelligence that they knew about this thing? They put her on 5 Sunday shows.
No.
You're sure that she knew
We're still left with more
truth
questions
was.
than answers. Listen, I apprate both of you guys being here. Simon, Mark, thank you both so much.
Thanks, Megan.
Don't go away. Netanyahu's coming.
This program